Welcome to Crypto College. Today we're going to talk about trends. What are trends? And why should we follow trend? Now, I'm going to give you a short example just so you understand. Let's say you live in New York and you need to travel from Midtown to downtown. You need to catch a train, right? That's going, your destination is downtown. You're in Midtown. So would you rather catch a train that is going the direction from Midtown to downtown? Or would you catch a train that is going to uptown? Wouldn't that be the opposite of where you're going? So you would have to go uptown and then you change and then come back. Not just you lost time, but that would be a silly strategy, right? Now, if you were to jump on a train that was going downtown, you would get to your destination much faster, much quicker, and you get your job done, right? That's basically what a trend is when it comes to crypto trading. Um, Usually we recognize trends are on all time frames, but the best way to recognize a trend is on the higher time frames. So when you go onto the 4 hour, you check the daily, you check the weekly, you get to see what's going on with a trend on the daily. Like if you're scalping, the daily is probably the best to start off with. So the what we use even in scalping is called top-down analysis. Start off with the daily, go to the 4 hour, go to the 2 hour, go to the 1 hour, and you see the trend. Now, when you take a position in the same direction of the trend, your probability of winning the trade just goes much higher if you're with the trend. There's various ways of recognizing trends, and you can use various indicators, but super trend or X trend are probably the best. And you see here on the chart that I see lines here. You see the green line started here. It's going up. That is telling me it is a long trend. Now you see the red line here. Short. It's very short-lived. That's a downtrend. So if I'm taking a short, that would be the time for me to enter. And if I'm taking a long position, this would be the time for me to enter. Now, it all depends on my leverage that I'm using. It all depends on the time frame that I work with. But a trend is usually recognized on the longer time frame. You can see a trend on 3 minutes, on 5 minutes, but it will change very quickly. By the time you take your position, you get in the trade. Sometimes, yes, you will get your 50%, 30%, 20%. Sometimes it might change before that. So recognizing a trend is always advisable on the higher time frames. And then you work your way, even if you're scalping on lower time frames, it does not hurt to go top down analysis. Go into the daily, go into the 4 hours, go into two, go into one, and then you know what's going on. Because otherwise you take a position on 5 minute and it might just hit the other way. You've taken a short, it might just go long. You've taken a long, it might go short. That's why people lose a lot of trades when they work on the lower time frames. One more thing. When you're new into crypto trading, when you have just started off, stay away from the smaller time frames. Use it just for knowledge, use it just to see what's going on, but do not trade, especially in the 1 minute, 3 minute, even 5 minute. I wouldn't go less than 15 minutes if you're new. I'd stick with an hour. My advice is to stick with an hour. Hour, 2, 4 hours, those are perfect for you to trade with and understand what trading is all about. Than jumping into, minute, 3 minute, 5 minutes, where you're going to lose out of 10, you're going to lose probably about 8 trades, 7 trades. So you're going to burn your money at a much faster rate. And that doesn't make sense, right? So you want to stick with higher time frames to begin with. So basically, that's what a trend is. A trend is the direction of the price, and there's various factors. And yes, trend can change. It has to do with outside influence sometimes. It has to do with probably a news that came out that BlackRock has been approved for a Bitcoin ETF, and you will see that the prices will shoot through the moon. But that is just when some news or something came out. But normally a trend on the longer time frame is a lot more reliable. You're a lot There's a lot more chances that you're going to make money if you went on the longer time frames. So anyway, looking at the chart here, as you can see, so I'm using three. It is always good to use 2 or 3 different indicators to support your trade. Just one indicator might not be enough. So anyway, as you can see, I'm using 3 indicators, and here, when I see the trend is long, you see here, see the green moon, and you see the profits. If I took that position at this point, you can just see the profits, right? That's on a 4-hour. And here's the RSI. It's going up, goes all the way up here, right? All the way up here. So, folks, when you use trend, to recap, use it in the longer time frame and use it to your advantage. Always trade in trend. Do not try to go against the trend. You're there to make money. Your purpose is to meet your daily goals, make that money, and then move on to the next trade. Do not go, if you're going to have a lot of resistance in trade, chances are either you're not going to be very profitable, you won't be able to go to your target profits, number one. Number two, it might reverse on you, right? It might not even work out for you. So you lose that money. If you have stop loss, it will hit stop loss. Remember, folks, stop loss is safety net, but at the same time, you do burn some money. If you're playing with $1,000 and you have a 10% stop loss, if it hits stop loss, you just lost $100. If you have a 20% stop loss, you just lost $200. So it's safe. You did not lose the whole bag. You still have $800 to trade with. But keep in mind, if you hit stop loss often enough, on a $1,000, you hit the stop loss 10 times at 10%, you just burnt your $1,000. So it's not a good strategy. You need to understand, why are you hitting your stop loss? Are you going against a trend? What is going on? Are your entries really bad? Are they poor entries? Why is it reversing on you each time? So you need to understand those things. You need to figure out, why is that happening? Once you enter a trade, it should go in the direction that you want it to go. So you'll be in positive. And the minute you get into positive, you move your stop loss to either 0 or 5 or 3 or 10%, just to cover your expenses and to make a little profit. Remember, sometimes when you have 0 and things change, it might even go at -5, -3, -2, -10 before it actually activates the stop loss. So you do lose some money. So make sure that the minute it goes into positive, you move your stop loss. We're going to cover that in the stop loss section anyway. This topic is about trend. So folks, you want to stay in trend, you want to go with trend, you want to trade with the trend. And the best way to figure out trend is to go on the higher time frames. For example, like I said, 4 hours, daily, 2 hour, 1 hour. Those are the time frames that you should figure out a trend, even if you're scalping on 15 minutes or 5 minutes. Figure out the trend first, go in the direction of the trend. You're always going to make more money when you go in the direction of the trend. As you can see, it's obvious from the charts here, right here. You can see where the trends are, when you make money on them. See? Even if you take a short, look at this. Look at this here. So go with the trend, and until next video, safe trading.